Hey Stormers, we're going to take a look today at the figures I've painted for Fireteam Zero. Now at the moment I've only done the figures for, well, all the heroes, the two specialists. It's just for the core set. I don't have the stretch goals or anything like that. And the enemies for the first operation, which are the children of Typhon, or Typhon's children. So let's get straight to it, and we'll start with the Maxine, I believe it is, who is the leader, or one of the leaders. And here's Maxine in all her glory. Ladies first. Face, again, not brilliant, but I'm not spending a lot of time on the faces on these figures. I'm trying to get through as many as possible, just try and paint them up and get them looking half decent on the tabletop. I'm not the best painter in the world, I've said on many occasions. So I've just gone for roughly what it shows on the card. It's like a leather jacket and some like it says khaki pants, maybe brown pants, but I've done khaki pants, and I've done it on top of a flesh tone, which seems to give it some sort of camouflage effect, which I'm happy with. I've also painted the bases, colour-coded the bases, so I can see them at a glance on the tabletop. And because I'm also using the what they call the gamer stacks, the gamer stacks holders for the cards, it means I can use the correct. I can make a card stand out of the colour, and I can just see automatically that if I make a red card stand, it's got the cards on, I know that's going to be Maxine. So that is Maxine, and we'll move on to the next one. Okay, here we go with Abe, who's the other leader. Yes, so there's two leaders in the core set. Again, face, there's got a bit highlighted on it. I'm quite pleased with this one, not with the face, but the actual way the coat came out. Some of the shading is a bit stark. Probably I could do the glaze on top of that or something, I don't know. But it's good enough for the table. It's got a fair bit of detail on there. The gun looks okay. The bullets and bandolier looks okay. The hair, I've just realised I've not actually shaded the hair. I should have put some shading on the hair, some highlights at least, and I've forgotten that. So I do need to do that. So forgive me for that. So it's still a work in progress. So that is Abe. And here we go with Frank, who's the marksman. Quite happy with the coat on this one, actually. I think I used a mixture of leather brown with some corn, GW corn red mixed in with it, I think. I can never remember what I mean, I never make any plans, I just get on and do it. And then afterwards I think, oh, yeah, I should have remembered what I did, or should have taken some notes, but I didn't. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with this figure. The base needs a bit of touching up, but all in all, it looks pretty good on the table. And it's certainly better than playing with just bare plastic, in my opinion. So I might even do a playthrough of this. Although any of you have actually played this will know that it's bloody hard. I mean, it took me, I've only just beaten the first mission, or the first part of the first mission, the first scenario, if you like, which took me 7 times. I mean, my record for losing games, I think, is Gloomhaven, when I lost the first 6 of the scenario of that. But this took the record for losing the most times for the first scenario. So that is Frank. Now we've got the close combat specialist, so I believe it's called Shadroe. Shadroe the Rat Decateur or something, maybe he's French, who knows. So I copied the paint scheme of this one from a video I saw on YouTube. I can't remember who it was by, I apologise for that. But I wanted the cloak or his hoodie to sort of look sort of fairly brightish, even though I have I've used a lot of Agrax Earthshade on there to tone it down and put the shading in. But again, I'm quite happy with this figure. The backpack looks okay. Like I said on many occasions, when you're doing close-up work like this, it shows up all the issues of the figure, all the bad stuff that you don't always see when you're painting it, or you do see it, but you think, oh, it'd be okay. Well, I do anyway, with my eyes. But like I've said many times, when it's on the table, it's 2 or 3 foot away from you, it looks fine. So please, all you guys out there who are thinking, oh, I can't paint, just give it a go, because I'm by no means a great painter. I'm just probably not even average. But you can see that from the table, from a table distance, they look okay, absolutely fine. And then you can see, like now, close up, they're not brilliant. So just give it a go. That is Shadroe. Okay, last of the heroes now. Well, certainly the last of the heroes for the core set. This is Sonny Heimel, I believe he's the Demolitions Expert. I mean, I painted this figure in probably less than an hour, to be honest. Less than an hour, maybe 50 minutes. Yeah, okay, I know it shows, but for tabletop, it's fine. I just knocked them out quick as I can. I basically painted all of these figures in less than a week, I think. Well, they're like 1, 2, 5, 6, maybe 12, 13 figures, and that's not including the stuff I've done on Gloomhaven. I've just knocked them out as quick as I can. So yeah, it's not, the colours aren't there to be popping out super bright. At the end of the day, it's a war-themed game, so I've done a lot of washing down with. Recently got some Agrax Earthshade. I was using Norn oil before, but I was using Norn oil for all my shading. But now I've got Agrax Earthshade, I've got Ripen Flesh Shade. So slowly I'm building up different shadings. Also picked up some Games Workshop paint, which actually I was quite impressed with. The yellow certainly seems to me better than the Vallejo yellow, which actually I've used the yellow on here for the base. So that's the last of the heroes. We'll move on to the specialists next. That was Sonny. Okay, this one I believe is Patrick, or Patty, as they call him. And he's one of the specialists that you have to take round with you. He's the one who will let you search as a free action, certainly in the core game. So again, I've just gone for a similar colour to Shadroe, really. Grey on the top, green pants, and I've given him like a blonde hair. He reminds me a little bit of, I was thinking, reminds me a little bit of from, what's his face from The Walking Dead, what's his name, Abraham. I don't know why, maybe it's the hair that's sort of yellowish, but Abraham's got red hair, so yeah, I'm talking bollocks again. But he certainly reminds, no, more of the other guy, reminds me of, I've forgotten his name, I shouldn't, I'm a massive fan of The Walking Dead. Eugene, reminds me a bit of Eugene. Maybe it's just a pose or something, I don't really know. But anyway, stop babbling on. So that is, I've forgotten his bloody name already. It was Patrick. Okay, so the last of the specialists. I've just realised I've not painted his glasses, so these aren't all complete. It's on me. You see stuff like, or you close up and you realise what you haven't done and what you have done. So fairly easy paint job. Just gave him a brown jacket, some blue jeans, some brown boots, and just painted the scarf in corn red. And it probably needs a little bit more highlighting on there. He's also holding some sort of like elder sign thing in his right hand. And I did think about trying to show that, give it off some sort of glow, but I'm not good enough, to be honest. And I'll just end up messing up the figure. And I don't really want to spend 2 or 3 hours doing something like that, but basically I'm only playing solo. So I'm not going to bother. Maybe in the future I'll do something like that. So that's Henrik. He's the specialist who lets you re-roll 1 attack die, as I recall. And that is the end of the hero / specialist. And we'll move on to the enemies next. Oh, okay, right. This is the corrupted animal. I know it's a weird colour to go for. I just fancied doing some sort of wet blending, and I'm not great at it, so I basically just got some blue and some red, and I just got very thin mixes on top of I think it was a white primer, and just tried to wet blend everything together to make it into some sort of like corrupted animal, which is what it is, a normal corrupted animal. Just tried to make it something like that, and then pick out the teeth afterwards. I mean, I could have probably gone into a lot more detail there. I can see close up there's a lot of intestines and stuff. I could have done all that, but again, I didn't want to be spending ages and ages on these. So, and this looks great on the table. I've picked out the eyes in black and then put a highlight on and just gone over that in gloss. Picked out the teeth, obviously the tongue. The tongue is like some sort of spinal cord in the head of another animal. I've done a couple of those actually. I've done one like this, and oops, I'm dropping the floor, and slightly different shades. I mean, there's 6 of these, 6 or 8, it might be 8. And I've just done them in slightly different shades to just get a slightly different feeling to all of them. This one's got blood on it, you can see. I think this was the first one I did. So, you know, that one and then this one. So they're all pretty much of a muchness, but there's slight differences. In that. Anyway, that's the corrupted animal. So we'll move on now to the corrupted human. Okay, this is a corrupted human. I've done a couple of different versions of this as well. That's one of the first ones I did, and then I decided that instead of it looking more bony, I would like to make one look a bit more like it was fleshy. So I did this sort of colour scheme. At the time I was like quite happy with that. Now I'm not so sure, to be honest. I think you could do with a bit more detail in the, to zoom in a bit, I think you could do with a bit more detail on the head and stuff. It could make it be a bit more gory. I've got another version as well, which is very much darker, like this one. So they're all much of a muchness, but slightly different. I don't know, I could probably do a bit more work on these, to be honest. But that's where we sit with those at the moment. And all in all, for the amount of time they took me, not a bad job. And again, looks good on the table. That's the corrupted human. And here we have the Cupbearer. What have I done to this? Well, I've picked out what the armour plating, and then when I've finished the model, after giving it a clear coat, I've picked out the armour plating again in gloss varnish, which in hindsight I'm not overly keen on. I might go back and just do a quick dull coat over the top of that. Not overly impressed with that. Maybe just leave the gloss for the eyes and for the eyes and for the bony knifey things. I did put a bit of sand on the base. The base wasn't like, let's see if I see there. The base was just, it had the skulls and stuff on it, but I just sprinkled some sand on there just to give it a bit of 3Dness and depth. So again, didn't take too long to do. Wasn't really sure what to do with them. But that's him in all his glory, and that brings us to the end of the Fireteam Zero part of the figures I painted so far. So all the heroes and all the monsters from the first Children of Titan. Okay, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.